Swanzey Fire Department, and this is Swanzey Now. Today we're going to talk about our equipment, our gear, some of the stuff we use on the trucks, and a little bit about the building. What we have here is all our gear locker areas. The guys keep their coats, cans, hats, helmets, extra boots, personal items in here, and when they need them, we're all lined up in the right spots to get it. When we go out, we have roughly 1,000 calls a year. So the guys, if they go out on a fire, and they do get their gear soiled, they come back here, we grab the second set of gear. Typically most of the guys have a spare. We send the stuff out, we wash it as best we can, we hose it off here as best we can to get most of the bulk of the soot and fire off of them. And so then we wash the gear, let it dry, air dry. We can't put it in a conventional dryer because it degrades the fire protection that's built into this gear. One of the things we're going to have in our new station when it's built is large enough area for everyone to have a gear just like this, open, it's going to be able to dry, but we're also purchasing a gear extractor. That extractor is going to better wash our gear, make it last longer, and with that, an area to dry it, so that we can have a place that's not out in the apparatus bay, not getting the exhaust blown back onto it when it dries. The guys, when they come in through our main exit, the only entrance and exit that we have. They get into their gear, dress out, and onto the trucks. Typically, one of the people drive the truck. They're starting this truck, getting it warmed up. The exhaust is right here on the side. It's blowing on them. It's only a few minutes, but the carcinogens that are in that exhaust are still entering themselves and all the gear that's here. And with that, the exhaust that comes out here, we're in the basement of Town Hall. All the exhaust, it's an old building, it permeates upstairs. The ladies upstairs say they constantly, anytime the trucks start, that they can smell the exhaust. So they're getting exposed to it as well. So in the new station, we're proposing a new exhaust system that will draw out the truck's exhaust, so that not all of it right now, as it goes, blows right onto the guy's gear. So that exhaust will be drawn up a tube, exhausted to the outside. This is our main entrance and exit, the only entrance and exit that we have. So this is where the guys come through, and when we talk about any kind of rainwater that gets into the building, it doesn't come through the garage doors or this main door. It comes through the front wall of the building and through the step down and in onto the floor here. Down behind the gear, the racks that the guys have. And the water comes down behind the racks that we have here, out onto the floor, so it's eventually saturating items behind here. We have, again, all your gear, coats, hats, boots, helmets, gloves, and then we're on the trucks. The rest of our equipment is on the truck. Each cabinet space is set up for different items. This back compartment space is set up for chimney and speedy dry, car accident items. We go up to the next cabinet, it's set up with some medical equipment and some of our hand tools. And again, this is why we are in such a tight area. We can't fully open the doors to get it out right here. And then we come up to the cab of the truck. We can house 4 firemen in the back, an officer in the front, and a driver. Their SCBAs, any other extra equipment, medical gloves are in back here, in clean area, flashlights, radios, thermal imaging camera are all housed up here in the cab. So we have our SCBA, which is what we use for going into a smoky condition. It's just ambient air. It is filtered and dry, so we're not breathing any kind of toxins. It goes on just like a backpack. Some of the benefits to the new building are going to be an adequate working space. Right now, when we back this truck in, it's backed into a certain point that we know we can get certain doors open. We can open the doors so the guys can get in the trucks. The officer's door, same way, he can get into the truck. But if we had to get anything out of some of these side compartments, as we open the doors, they start to hit with these poles. With the new building that we're proposing, we'll have not only adequate space, we'll have space to put our equipment away, we'll have space to decon our equipment into proper places, and better entrance and exits, multiple entrances and exits, not just the one that we have right now. So we have obviously 5 boroughs in town. We have 3 fire stations that cover those. We all work as one, and some of the obstacles that we do have, as you all know, we all have some really beautiful covered bridges. We can't drive these trucks across those covered bridges. So sometimes it takes us a few minutes to get around different areas. That's why we need these stations in strategic places. We're all one group, and we do have to maneuver around town, and because of some of the covered bridges, it takes a little while for us to get around these. That's why we need 3 strategic fire stations to get into these areas, and so we're adequately covered. These buildings were built in the 30s. This one was built in the 60s. The other ones were built before that, and they're all built to smaller vehicles. Well, our fire trucks are getting larger. We're now to the point that we have to purchase special sized vehicles so that they fit in our areas. With the building of a new station, we'll have larger doors, larger area. We won't have to have so much custom built for size of the vehicle. The new building is designed to have drive-through bays, or at least back in from multiple sides. So when we back in, the doors will be wider. These doors here are 12 feet. We're looking at a 14-foot door. More space, less room, less room for error, if I say that right. This third bay in this station is one of the hardest bays to back in due to the outside retaining wall. The outside retaining wall gives you goes off at an angle, and it gives you a false sense of how you're backing in. So typically the guys will back this truck in crooked. And as you pull out, that makes a difference as you're driving out of the bays. This is where we store a lot of our spare gear, if you will. So when new firemen come on, we try to go through this, size them up appropriately. Helmets, pants, coats. Some of the stuff is hanging, which is a benefit. Some of it we have stored on racks. In the new building, we've designed a little bit larger area. I think a better storage area. Better to get into, better to put storage up, better to put hanging items to be hung. And this room is just a little tight. And unfortunately, when it rains, the water comes through our wall here, comes through this floor, out through the next wall, and out onto the apparatus bay. So everything here has to be up off the ground. Unfortunately, we have no place to store, so we store our boots on the ground, and we do the best we can. So here we are on the outside. These are our 3 bay doors for each of the pieces of equipment. Our 1 main entrance and exit, and our other additional storage that we store extra hose, some speedy dry, some fuel, and it houses our generator for the town hall. Yeah, so unfortunately this wall really needs to be repaired. It's something that's been on the radar to get fixed. It just hasn't crumbled enough yet to do so. But I believe this year is going to. It's going to have to be forced to be fixed. 5 years with a crack in the cement block, and unfortunately we slowly watched it move, and I think this last year has probably moved the most due to frost and weather. So here we are in our training area, if you will, for this station. We try to get a lot of our fire trainings done in here. We do some of our EMS trainings in here. This is the largest room we have to do training. We have a television. We can hook our laptops up through it. We can utilize that. We also have our area for doing any kind of fire reports, any medical reports are all done right here. And the guys keep a daily log of what we do as well. Part of our trainings here, we do a monthly training for fire. We have a different day we do monthly trainings for EMS. And we have a full department meeting every month, so everybody's getting all the information that we need to share. Yeah, we have approximately 40 members on our department. We're spread out. This is a larger group in here. There's about 20 people in this station. There's another 15 or so in Station 3 and 8 or 10 in Station 1. I'm Eric Mattson. Thank you for taking this tour with me here at the Swanzey Center Fire Station, underneath Town Hall. If you need to get a hold of us for anything, if you want to learn more about the building, you want to learn more about firefighting, our email is on the town's website. Please feel free to email myself or Mike Brantley. Thank you.